Hey everybody, this is Curtis from PSN Stores. Today we're looking at Grim Fandango.
Sorry for the wait, Mr. Flores. I am ready to take you now.
Take me? Take me where?
Now, there's no need to be nervous.
Nervous? No. Just your appearance. It's a little intimidating.
Intimidating me? But I'm your friend. My name's Manny Calavera. I'm your new travel agent.
I don't want a new travel agent. I want to go home.
You can't go home, Celso. You're dead. But you're not alone. Everybody here is just as dead as you. That's why we call it the land of the dead. Are you ready for your big journey?
No. What journey?
The 4-year journey of the soul. It is quite a big trip. And I can't lie to you, Celso. It could be very, very dangerous. Unless you were to take that money you were buried with and buy a better travel package from us. I mean, wouldn't you rather cross the land of the dead in your own sports car? Maybe try a luxury ocean cruise? Or, if you led a very good life, you may even be eligible for a ticket on the number 9 itself.
The number 9?
That's our top-of-the-line express train. It shoots straight to the 9th underworld, the land of eternal rest.
So this interesting goes on for a little bit longer. But this is Grim Fandango Remastered, so... of course, this game came out some time ago. I don't remember exactly what year it was. But in the time, this has become something that's been kind of hard to come across. Like, if you haven't played this game before, if you don't own a copy, actually getting a copy before now, something that would be pretty expensive or just pretty difficult. And there was also, you know, as someone who has wanted to play this game for a very long time, actually acquiring a copy and then also like getting a copy to run properly, it's not the most straightforward thing. And so this has always just kind of eluded me. And then of course last E3 they announced that they were going to remaster this game and bring it to PS4 and Vita.
The boss told me to tell you not to leave early tonight. He wants to talk to you about something when he gets back from his trip.
So one of the first things I'll show is kind of what they have done to this game. It's not a lot, but it's definitely it's noticeable, and you'll see in just a minute.
Where do they get these guys? They don't qualify for anything good, so I can't sell anything good. Can't work off my time, and I'm stuck. Stuck selling walking sticks to a bunch of burros for eternity. I need better clients. I need a real saint. I need a lead on a rich dead saint.
You're playing as Manny Calavera. He is a he's a travel agent for you know, essentially the land of the dead. So people die, and depending on their actions in their real life will kind of have an effect on what kind of travel package they can get to the afterlife. So if you were a really good person and you did a lot of good things, that you're gonna get the best package available, and it's gonna be the shortest trip. Whereas if you didn't do a lot of good things, if you weren't a good person, you're not gonna be eligible for a lot of great packages. So Manny is he's a travel agent that is not able to get a whole lot of good clients, and so what he's doing, he's actually trying to work off his sentence so he can get out of here. And so in order to do that, he needs some really good clients, and he does not have a lot of good luck with these guys. He usually gets the worst clients, and so part of this game is trying to find that client that's gonna get him out of here. So as far as the remastered stuff goes, one cool thing that you can do here is if you just click in on the right analog stick, you will switch between the original and the remastered. So as you can see, the original right here, you have kind of your pre-rendered backgrounds here, and then you have your character model itself. So that is kind of where a lot of the attention to the detail has come into play. So as you see here, like the stuff they've kind of cleaned up the character model. They've added a lot of lighting, whereas in the original, you know, you're not getting the lighting that's coming in through the blinds. The character model doesn't look as good. So it's not a huge difference overall, especially like the backgrounds are pretty much left the same. A lot of it's and I'll do some more switching around a little later on. A lot of it is coming down to the character models and the lighting, which does look good. Now this is also very much your old school adventure games mentality as far as the game design is concerned. So it's going to be a lot of, you're going to have an inventory, you're going to have like all these different random items that you can use on different things that may not immediately make sense.
All right, you boneheads, thank your lucky stars and get to your friggin' cars. We have a mass poisoning on our hands. Too many dead to assign specific cases, so all clients are first come, first serve. So let's see some hustle out there.
Whatever you say, Effie.
So if you've played like a lot of the old school adventure games before, like
that walking stick was too good for him.
Like you're gonna be used to, you know, having to do like weird combinations of different items that you pick up, very like obtuse and like obscure puzzles. This game has a lot of that, and so it's pretty difficult in that respect of just like, you're probably gonna get stuck a lot and not know what to do, and you have to really think outside the box to kind of solve a lot of the puzzles in this game. So right now I'm actually playing with tank controls. There's a number of options that you have here. So between movement mode, you have your tank controls, you have camera relative. So I'll kind of show what that is. So that's more, this is something new to the game. So whereas in tank controls, like, if you hold up on the D-pad, you're going to move forward, and then you would hit left and right to kind of like change the direction that you're facing. And so the camera relative is much more like, it's just whatever direction you're tilting the analog stick in, or whatever direction you're holding on the D-pad is going to be the direction you move. It's a little easier to control. Whereas, you know, tank controls are very much like, this is how it was before, and so if you want to like kind of hold on to that, you can. There's actually a trophy for playing through the whole game with tank controls. I don't find them to be that bad. Like, I mean, I've also spent the last week playing Resident Evil Remastered, or Resident Evil HD, whatever, which is also tank controls, and so I actually, like, those work a little better, and I'll show a few examples in a little bit. I had a little bit of trouble with tank controls in this game, mostly when I was trying to enter different areas through like doors. You can change the aspect ratio from 4:3 to widescreen, and you can also get rid of the borders that are on the screen. I've kind of kept it at the default just because if you go widescreen, it kind of stretches out the image. There's actually director's commentary here. So I believe what this is, and we can check it out. I think this highlights specific things in different rooms that you can walk up to and hear some commentary from. Yeah. So I've hit L1.
So this was the first scene in the game that we ever actually did with some test assets. So I had this is when I was proving out, okay, yes, we can do this. It was this hallway scene. We had manning up, running up and down. We had the security cam, kind of camera switching. We had text on the screen. We had animations. We had geolocation of the sound relative to the camera. The typing was down the hallway, and we had Manning running up and down. It was a really good test scene, and it kind of came to it at the very last second. Like literally, I was compiling code as people ran in the room because I had a off.
Okay, so maybe don't leave the room when you're listening to commentary, but with everything else like out of the way, I'm just gonna like, you know, start playing through kind of the first part of this game.
Hey, what's going down, clown?
Hey, back off, suit. I'm practicing.
So I'm actually going to turn on.
Practicing what?
Wringing your neck.
Just want
What
to turn
does
on
it look
subtitles
like?
just to make sure you guys can actually hear what's going on or see what's going on.
Twist me up one of them, huh, fella?
Yeah. Twist this, all right?
Bet you can't do a cat.
Shows what you know, buddy. I can do anything. I can do birds, amphibians, famous poets. Go ahead. Name one.
Okay, a cat.
No problem. Ta-da!
So one thing that actually surprised me a lot with this game is
Jeez,
like the
what
voice
now?
acting all around like really holds up pretty well.
Heck, that's easy.
I think now part of it might again be I've spent the past week
There's
playing
no limit
that
on
Resident
those.
Evil remake. But like I was pretty surprised, especially considering when this game came out, that like the voice acting is pretty good.
My kid,
Jeez, what now?
do you have any more dead worms back there?
Well, sure.
I've also, I mean, you know, the writing is funny. There was a ton of characters that you're gonna meet throughout this adventure that you go on. Glottis is one that you meet pretty early on. We're about to meet him, and I find him to be just really funny. I imagine he's probably one of the characters that a lot of people kind of like a lot. There's a moment, I'd say probably about maybe a little over halfway through the game, where you and Glottis run into this guy, and there's a, I guess without being too specific, there's a song that they start singing, and it's just super, very random and weird, and it's pretty funny.
It looks like Don's rigged his computer to automatically answer his intercom. I'll just change his auto response here.
Ah, cripe, Saber, just sign it yourself, will you? I'm busy.
So I would say, the first couple puzzles are gonna be solved in this video. I'm not gonna go too far into the story here, because I don't want to spoil, like, puzzle solutions or anything, but, just kind of a forewarning that the first, like, 2 or 3 puzzles where you're gonna see the solution in this video. But, alright, so we did that. So, okay, I'm gonna try to see if it will happen here, and maybe show some of my issues that I've had. Okay. So, it's happened a handful of times throughout the game when I would be using tank controls. You kind of saw that I was running, and it kind of just ran me across the steps horizontally like that. Like I was holding the direction like up. It's really hard to describe. I'll see if I can. So there have been times, and it's seemingly random, and I don't know what caused it. So you see I'm standing in front of the steps that I'm holding up, you know, walk up the steps, right? And, you know, that works properly, but there would be some times where, like, I would do this, and it would not let me go past this point. And so in order to actually get past, I'd have to run back down here, kind of turn around, and then go up. It was pretty random and rare. Like, again, it only happened maybe a few times throughout the entirety of the game. There was also a point where this door opens a little later on, and you can go in that room. And I straight up could not get out of that door back into this little area here. Like, no matter what I did, and I had to like keep walking back and switching the camera angle numerous times, and just for whatever reason, I could not walk out of that door. And it took me a good like 5 minutes to get it to actually let me to walk through. So that stuff's kind of I imagine that, again, we'll switch to him here, just because I've spent just very little time actually using the camera relative controls. So I don't know if that's something that might actually fix some of those issues.
Better take these cards. It looks like a long day of solitaire for me.
So basically, here's how your inventory system works. If you press triangle, he reaches into his jacket. You can examine each item. So I've got these different balloon animals. I've got the deck of cards. Got my scythe. Alright, so let's go meet Glottis.
Hey, service.
Hey, who the... Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't expect... Sales agents usually don't come over to this part of the garage.
So here's just kind of another example of just some of the work that's been done in remastering this.
I'm Calavera. Manny Calavera.
My name's Glottis. I don't get many visitors. Hey, I got a message for a Mr. Calavera. Your driver said that Mr. Hurley said that he could have the rest of the day off.
Domino sent my driver home?
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
Glottis. Glottis? Is that a German name?
Oh no, my roots lie not in any earthly nation's soil. I am an elemental spirit summoned up from the land of the dead itself and given one purpose, one skill, one desire. To drive! Or to change oil and adjust timing belts.
I love Glottis.
Jobs are open.
Hey, you a driver?
Me? Ha! No.
So another part of this, this is very much like you're going to want to talk to as many people as you meet. Exhaust all of the different dialogue options you have.
Looks like I need a new driver.
Oh, I would agree with that.
And something actually I like about the trophies in this game are they're all very much like rewarding you for being just very thorough. So checking every little place, like talking to everyone, going through all the dialogue options, will get you a lot of the trophies in this game just by going out and doing that.
You want to be my replacement driver?
Me? Oh, no. Sorry, can't. Rules.
Come on, Glottis. I need you to be my driver.
No, I can't. I'm too big.
You're not too big. The cars are just too small.
Yeah, those dang compact cars. Hey, That gives me an idea. I could alter your car just a bit with just a quick torch job to let out the seams, you know? But I'm not allowed to modify the cars without a work order from upstairs. I could lose my job.
A work order, huh?
Yeah. I can't torch anything bigger than a cigarette without one of these signed by the boss himself.
Hey, that's my line. Getting people to sign. Back in a snap.
Yeah, too small. I'm not too big. Everything around here is just too small.
That won't help it get signed.
No. Yeah, even just spending a few minutes with the newer controls, I mean, typically I would probably be like, oh, well, you know, like tank controls, they're not that bad, and definitely with Resident Evil, I'd be like, yeah, you know, you gotta play with that. But with something like this, like I think these totally work just as you need them to. Like, I don't think it changes the experience at all. Maybe makes it a little bit better. So we need this work order signed.
Eva, I really need the boss to sign this work order.
I'll give it a shot. Mr. Copel, Mr. Calavera has something out here that he says he needs your signature on.
Ah, cripes, Ava, just sign it yourself, will you? I'm busy.
You'll have to excuse him, Manny. It's probably a really hard crossword puzzle he's got in there today.
Eva, I'm impressed. I had no idea you had this kind of power.
Well, we all have our secrets.
So one of the things that this game does is it goes through 4 years. So the story, basically, like, there are 4 chapters essentially, and so each chapter covers a year, and really it covers like a day in each year. And
Hey, I look good in this, don't I?
Yeah, well.
yeah, you do, Glottis. Yeah, you do.
I'm driving, yeah.
So you kind of get through this first part. It goes on a little bit longer. And then it's like, okay, 1 year later. And then you go through like a day. And then it's like, alright, another year later. And part of the thing is that, like, if you don't get any of the good packages to travel, you know, into the afterlife, you go on this, like, 4-year journey. And so a lot of this, like, this game is almost like this globe trek of, like, getting to this certain destination and also tracking down somebody. And there's also like there's this like underground conspiracy that you're trying to uncover. But I guess that's actually kind of, it's kind of one of the things that I'm not sure what to think about. This is a game, again, I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I don't know how I feel about the year, like, transitions. Like the time skips, I'm still kind of I'm not too sure how I feel about them. So I have journeyed into the land of the living. There's been a poisoning, as you heard earlier in the game. And so we need to, this is my new client right here. But I didn't really interact with anything.
It's the fear of death that makes monsters of us all.
I wanted to interact with, see if there's anything in this room that I can mess with.
They gotta go through channels. Can't take the living. They gotta go through channels. I don't want to mess up my blade. I don't want to mess up my blade. Scaring the living is technically against the rules, but we all do. If I scare them to death,
Nice.
then they'll become a customer. But I'll
All right.
deal with a conflict of interest rabbit.
Yeah, I think we'll have a review of this pretty soon.
Nice bathroom.
I like, you know, again, I think the writing is pretty good. It's pretty funny in quite a few spots. I like a lot of the characters. I really like GLaDOS. Um, I think overall, like, you know, the stuff they did to the character models and the lighting is pretty good. It's cool that they have like some director commentary in there, especially for people who have, you know, played this game before. I'm not. I finished this last night. I'm not sure if I like the story as much as I was hoping I would. Um, but this is totally something like if you grew up with adventure games, if you like adventure games like this, you're gonna, you know, you're gonna love this.
Can't you find me something where I can move my legs? You know I'd like to, Bruno.
But we're gonna call it there because I don't want to show too much, and I don't want to show too many puzzle solutions or anything. And our dog is going crazy too. So that was Grim Fandango Remastered. It is out now on PS4 and Vita. It is a cross-buy, I believe cross-save as well. It's $15. Again, if you like adventure games, if you like the old school adventure games, like if you have not played this, you should. And we'll have a review up pretty soon. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Out on the street, no job, no way to work off your time. Just your fancy suit and your big smile and a whole lot of time to kill. Who you calling a scumbag? Why, I oughta...
I'm sick of waiting around for a good lead. Like it's gonna fly in here tied to a brick. It's time to take one.